Hi guys, so this box is the Doodle Sweetheart Art Snacks box, which was the promotional box for Valentine's Day. I am a little bit late in getting onto it. I've had a few other things and a few other conventions, and I was like, I will get this done before the convention, surely! And I didn't because I had too much stuff on and I procrastinated. So, a lesson for those, don't procrastinate. But what came in the box was the Pentel Orenz one-click mechanical pencil, the Ironlak pump action paint marker, the Zebra Zensations double-ended brush pen, the Caran Luminance 6901 coloured pencil. Now, the colours that I got in my box were rose with the pencil and an aqua with the paint pen. My impressions when I was using this, I don't particularly like the paint pen. I tried to get it activated. I found it really cool that you could see the inner workings of how it worked, but I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get it to layer. I don't know whether the box has just been sitting around for too long and the paint marker just, obviously has an expiry date. I'm not sure. It might be just because I was also a doofus and shook the pen after activating it. But I didn't realise you were not meant to do that until I looked at the card after the fact. The other thing I will say also is the Pentel Orenz one-click pencil I found a bit heavy in my hand. I typically use an 05mm lead anyway, and I do sketch on an angle, so I didn't find the issues that they were saying that you can only extend the lead to prevent it from, to prevent it from breaking, because I usually don't have that problem anyway. So I'm not sure why they made a pen like this, but okay. I will also say I do love the pencil. I can see why they are considered the Rolls Royce of pencils. They are very creamy. The colour is excellent. I don't typically use pencils a lot in my work, so I'm not sure if it'll stay. I'm not sure. And the Zebra Zensations double-ended brush pen. I don't typically use brush pens, and I rarely use double-ended brush pens. I found that there was no difference in between the nibs either, so I'm not sure if there was one that was meant to be a fine or a medium or anything like that, but I found there was not much difference at all in between them. With what I'm sketching, I thought I'd go into doing maybe a monkey, because I had the Laffy Taffy, which was, I will say, I've never had a Laffy Taffy either. I don't recommend them because they aren't my favourite sweet. I like sours and sherbets, and yeah, this was neither of those things. So, I did try and do a pattern, just because I did have patterns on the brain from doing a few other projects, and I thought I'll do a pattern. That will be the simple way to do something, or just get to something flowing. But I found that it was really hard to layer things on top of the paint pen once they were down. I do use my art supplies unedited, like I don't add water to it. In looking at a few other videos that other people have done, they use water, and I'm sitting there kicking myself for not trying that. And maybe I should do that in the next box if I find them difficult or something like that. I am thinking I might do a final piece with all the art supplies that I got from these boxes, and have it as a final one-off piece made from all of the elements that came in these boxes. I'm not too sure. I will see how we go at the end. But I will say I didn't particularly like the pattern that I produced here, just because the paint pen didn't layer very well. And as I said before, I don't know whether it's just because it's been sitting in a box or because I just didn't activate it right. I'm not too sure, but I wasn't too happy with this Ironlak paint pen. And I'm going to say we do have these paint pens in Australia, and I have looked at them going, I wonder what they're like. So I'm glad that, I got one paint pen that I could see that, this isn't really what I like. I do use the Posca paint pens at Current, and I do enjoy them, but at least they can layer in some degree, more than I would say this one can. And I don't know whether it's a part of it being a water-soluble paint pen. I'm just not sure. So in the end, so after not liking, as said, how this pattern had happened, and basically the large areas of teal which had not layered, I decided to go back to the drawing board, so to speak, and draw a few faces. It's something actually I've been trying to work on and improve my faces. I don't draw faces very well, I think, so I do try and practice them. I've actually been trying to kick myself into gear about doing some more faces, but at this point in time, with certain viruses and bugs and corona, I've just been scribbling anything and everything, considering my business has sort of taken a dive in that respect because I can't do conventions. So I will say I did go back and I did do some sketching. I did some sketching of faces. I did use the Caran pencil and another blue pencil just to add different points of difference, and I found it so much easier to work with in that respect. In the end, I ended up drawing this girl with some flowy hair and an undercut with some planets swirling around her. I don't know if there's any meaning behind it and what I was drawing. I just drew it in the end and it seemed to work, so I ended up sketching it onto some tracing paper and then onto my final piece of paper, which was the white paper, which I got in, I think it was November's Art Snack box. I will say I did try and get some actual circles from a pencil thing that I have here. It worked fairly well, so I won't say anything on that. I do actually have a tool now which actually allows you to draw certain lines in ink, which I'll have to explore at another point in time. But at this point in time, I'm quite happy with how it turned out, and you'll see how it goes in the next little bit, and I hope you enjoy it. Bye!